Hi everybody, this is Compost Man Stan out here in my backyard again with the Compost Corral Part 2. And here's the pile that we built from the pile of leaves that we had earlier in the spring. Left over, spring cleanup, put them in a fenced in enclosure and watered them throughout the spring and summer. And now we've turned it once and tarped it with my black tarp, moistened it up, but we want to do the second flip. This is close to being the last flip. There's a guy on the internet and he flips it 12 times, but he never waters it. I don't want a relationship with my compost pile. I want to make compost. And the way to do that is to get it wet thoroughly from the first. This one's been wet quite a while, but I haven't ever turned it all the way over. I'm going to turn it over onto that tarp and then water it as I go, and then turn it all the way back over into this current position where it is right now, but it will go over here and then come back, flip twice, got the right ingredients in it, and it'll be ready to go. Hang on, here we are. Started turning the pile even though it had only been there for a week, but it had already gotten hot. But it wasn't moist throughout the pile, so the pile wasn't hot all over. As we turn it, we expose some of the dry pieces that were never going to get wet down there in the bottom of the pile. So we mix it in and then water it thoroughly. You can see how dry some of that material was. It's hard to water too much. You can see the food scraps and the grass clippings going in. The last levels of it where the leaves are very compacted. And you can see there's a root from the tree above, and then these really compacted kind of dry layers. And once it's all in the pile, we water it very heavily. Hi everybody, Stan Slaughter, Compost Man Stan, out here in my backyard. And we've just turned the Compost Corral pile. Got down to the bottom of it and even found the roots of the sycamore tree that were growing up into the pile. Parts of it had never been watered, couldn't get watered. The leaves are like shingles, the water runs away. But we're going to spice that pile up with the vegetables, the food scraps we've been collecting, my stepson's coffee grounds, and this little cone on top is an active part of the pile with food scraps and worms, all kinds of things going on here in the top of the pile. The other part of the pile is resting. It's finished composting and it deserves to be moistened and allowed to mature. So what we're going to do is scrape this top most active part off and bury it deep in this active compost corral pile that we've got going here. And that'll set this pile up for finishing, and it'll put some much needed nitrogen and food scraps in the compost corral pile.